Infill lots are the hottest thing in the market right now. So if you're looking at one and you're trying to price it out and you notice there's multiple offers and you have to come in quick and hot with a short close, we have the perfect product for you. So stay tuned and watch to the end.
What is going on, guys? It is Josh and Aaron back for another Finance Friday, and in today's video we are going to discuss one of the most difficult parts of small development financing, which is land acquisition financing. And we've been doing this long enough that we actually have the ability to be able to work with some of our lending partners to create a product that is specifically going to help you acquire your land to get you into a small to mid-sized development.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges is you're purchase land with a lot on it, and you're getting into the development, is how does the lender view it in terms of the value? Are they lending it off of the purchase price, or if you are upfront with them and you tell them you're going to be tearing it down, are they lending it off of the land value, and obviously just requiring you to put a lot more equity in. So what we did is we worked with one of our lenders to be able to sit down and figure out and just say, hey, there's an opportunity here. Let's put together a few different options for our developers, some short-term options with some easy exits to make things a lot more simple and a lot more flexible to be able to get in.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you're kind of in a tough situation when you're buying a property, especially when you want to tear it down and do an infill development. Because if you go and get a conventional mortgage, which is your cheapest option, and you tear that house down, you now have a conventional mortgage and no underlying asset on it. You're in default of your mortgage. And we obviously don't advise you to do that, but sometimes that does happen. It puts a developer in a really tricky spot. So what we want to talk to you guys about today is the type of financing you can get to acquire property and keep the cost pretty low. If you've ever tried to get private land financing, it can be pretty expensive. You're usually looking at 50% loan to value. You're looking at anywhere between 10 to 12% to impossible, depending on if you're a secondary market or a primary market. So, what we wanted to do is wanted to create a product that was going to allow our clients to be able to have flexibility, to be able to keep the costs low, and to be able to cap fees into the loan to give them the ability to be able to keep as much cash as possible to be able to keep the project going.
Yeah. Right now, the product that we've been working with has three options. First option is you can purchase the land with the property on there and keep that property on there. Obviously, as long as you keep it in good condition, you don't let it deteriorate. If you are buying it with the property on there and you're not going to be tearing down that property in the term of your loan, they'll give you up to 75% of the purchase price, which is great. Gives you a decent loan to value. Obviously, depending on your equity position and what you're looking at going into any potential land zoning and changes, you may want to put a little bit more just to be able to keep that equity position in there. But again, if you're 8 months away, 10 months away, maybe this is a good option to be able to keep that leverage a little bit higher and save some of that money to go towards your permits and just the rest of the processing. Right now, they do have a special on with the rates. You can get as low as $799 right now, interest only, which is pretty amazing when you take a look at the fact that there's no exit penalty and the fees are all bundled into the actual loan amount, which means if you compare that to a bank loan, which if you can even, if you're open up with the bank, you're not really going to get the financing on there. But assuming you're somewhere in the fives, low fives, maybe even fours, you take that $799 interest only, and by the time you exit out of a bank loan, you're paying probably 3% interest on there as your breakage penalty. You're probably either right around the same cost, maybe slightly cheaper or maybe slightly more, again, depending on where that lender is. But the flexibility of the loan to be able to get in quick closing, as little as 5 days, less underwriting that they're going to be doing on the semi-private side, it makes it a lot easier to be able to get in, get this done. You don't have to hide things from the lender. It's a much more smooth process than getting in and getting it done with the bank, and it's just going to feel a lot easier and a lot more simple than having to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, the second product they have is you're going to demolish the house. So if you guys are going to have intentions to take possession, demolish the house while you have the mortgage on it, they can give you up to 65% of the land value. The rate is slightly higher. It's about 8.99% currently as of right now. Same fee structure. They have a 2.5% lender fee. But what they do is they actually add it on top of the loan amount. So it's not something that comes out of your pocket on closing. It's really important to to let us know or to let your broker know what your intention is when you actually take possession of the property. A lot of times people aren't going to spend the money on soft costs to go get the drawings and go talk to an architect and go do your site surveying and go do your phase ones and all these things that you need to do to be able to get a shovel in the ground with a construction lender. So this is a great stopgap or a short-term option to be able to get decent level financing without really breaking the bank, and to give you time to be able to structure your construction financing appropriately. Now, when it comes to proving to this lender your ability to do this is probably the most important part with this lender, is letting them know you are serious about moving forward with your project. So a few things they're going to expect. We're going to expect some sort of budget. That budget's going to have soft cost outline. That's going to include your architectural drawings, any sort of fees to be able to submit your permits. That's going to include carrying costs of being able to hold a loan throughout that time period. They really want to see you're going to create a package that's going to show them you know what you're doing. Experience is going to be really important. Have you done this before? If you haven't done this before, do you have a partner or GC or project manager that's going to allow you to be able to stay on track with this process? So, showing us that not only you have the property, but you have the ability and capital to be able to do it is probably the most important part of this product.
Yeah, additional underwriting and qualification they're going to take a look at. Obviously, proof you have the down payment. Obviously, that's going to be a crucial key. They're also going to want to make sure that you have the funds to carry the project throughout the term of the loan. So the interest rate, whatever that is, what are your interest payments going to be? Do you have the money to carry it? Other than that, some tax documents, making sure you're not behind on the taxes, some AML sourcing on the down payment. But again, when we're talking about using this semi-private type lender, we're talking about ease of access here and quickness in versus having to go to the bank, debt servicing, or showing documents for other properties, going through like that typical bank due diligence. These guys are much quicker, they're much faster, they're much more flexible, and the solution overall is just it's pretty much the most ideal solution that you can get for coming in and purchasing land financing. Loan sizes, they can go up to $2 million. Again, depending on the land, where it is, they're going to do their own internal valuation on the land. So if you are looking to get a specific value on the land, make sure you have your comps ready, as much details as possible so that we can pass that along to them. Again, remembering that most of these banks, they are taking a look at it from a comp-based perspective. Sometimes if you're getting land done, commercial appraiser, they might be using like a cost per unit on the land, highest and best case. So again, like providing those comps, giving us the reasoning behind the value, that's going to allow us to put together the good story, share that with the lender, and try to get as high as value on the land as possible, just to be able to make sure that you're getting the leverage that you need on the project.
Yeah, I mean, the current economic climate isn't favorable for land financing right now. So this product is really unique in and of itself, where they're not just focusing on the core GTA. They allow for major markets and secondary markets as well. So this product is great for someone who's looking to do maybe a 4+1 in the city, or someone who's looking to acquire a double lot and who wants to sever the lot and make maybe semi-detached fours, use the MLI product and takeout. All these missing middle developers who are looking to move quick and acquire these lots or these double lots. I think this is a great opportunity to use a product that is flexible and malleable. Someone's probably asking, why would I not just go to the bank? Challenge with the bank is you have to personally qualify for the debt you're going to be taking on. If it's a pre-existing house and you're in the GTA, you're buying it for $1.3 million, how are you going to use your personal debt servicing to qualify? Most people in today's market can't do that. So this product allows you to just, as a stopgap, find a way to be able to get to construction and then use the equity that you have to be able to build the project and then restructure out. So we've worked really hard to create this product with our lending partners, and we think that this is going to help a ton of people in the space. So if you guys have any questions at all about this product, how it works, the cost around it, we'd love to be able to sit down with and talk to you guys about your specific project and how it works. Well guys, we really appreciate your time today. If you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It allows Aaron and I to make more videos like this for you. Really appreciate your time. Talk soon.